2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Girls Got Game here on Hitting the Field Network. I'm your host, Frankie Noble, and today we'll be talking about exciting WNBA news, some college softball, then we will have some passionate guests talk about a certain baseball team. So don't go anywhere because Girls Got Game starts right now. And we're back with some of the biggest WNBA fans I know, Ashley Rowe and Ty Patton. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing so great. I'm so excited to talk about the big dub.
The big dub? Ty?
I love women's basketball.
As do we all. And to celebrate the last day of Women's History Month, we're going to talk some women's ball.
Yeah.
So, something that I want to start off with is there's a brand new expansion team for the WNBA. Ashley, do you want to tell us a little bit about this team?
Yes, I do. So the Golden State Valkyries, they're the newest team added to the WNBA since 2008. They're sharing their the Chase Center with the Warriors, and also, I'm not the only one excited about it. Apparently, they are the first WNBA team to hit 10,000 season ticket holders, and they haven't even played yet. So that's crazy. They start playing May 16th.
Which is really soon.
I know, which is so soon, and I can't wait to see more WNBA teams. But a little background on how they want to play. Their coach, Natalie Nakase, is very focused on high-scoring shooters. She wants three-pointers. And in an interview, she said, "We got shooters." And she did. They have Kate Martin from the Las Vegas Aces, who just ended her rookie season, and she's played alongside Caitlin Clark when they were on the Iowa Hawkeyes together, so really, really great player. Veronica Burton's from the Connecticut Sun. She had a 35% three-point field goal, which was the third highest on the Sun last season. Temi Fajbinle was on the Indiana Fever with a 51% field goal, and she played with Caitlin Clark last season. I mean, they're just getting really cool, big name players.
Big names.
Yeah, and also, this one was crazy for me, because seeing people leave from the New York Liberty is what? That's my team. Kayla Thornton is also going to be on the Golden State Valkyries, which is it's so cool. And they're also not the only expansion team upcoming. There's going to be, next year, Toronto Tempo and another team from Portland, I believe. It's going to bump the WNBA up to 15 teams, which is so cool.
Which is so exciting. You love to see the WNBA growing. For this team in specific, they actually took 22,000 deposits for season tickets, which is crazy. Single game tickets aren't even open yet because there's such popularity for this new team, which is super exciting. They're also playing at the same arena as the Warriors. So personally, I'm super excited to see how it matches up because we've seen other women's leagues like the PWHL sell out NHL arenas, things like that. So I'm super excited to see what this does for the sport. Ty, what are your thoughts on this expansion team?
I love that it's growing, but I partially kind of think it's a little bit of a crime that I have not heard about it before about a week ago, and they start playing in less than 2 months.
Right. It's a little upsetting. I would love to see more publicity for the WNBA because as much as we talk about it here and we love the WNBA and there are WNBA fans, it's not talked about as much as they're sharing the same venue as the Warriors. It's not going to be talked about as much as the Warriors, which kind of breaks my heart. Ashley, what do you think about all that?
I think obviously there's, discrepancy between the NBA and the WNBA, but I think they are getting traction and they're growing, and I don't think they're going to stop growing. And eventually we will get to the point where we're like, oh my gosh, I just heard this news, breaking news, and everyone knows about it because it's so cool. And internationally too, it's really going to get really big. I have faith in them. But also, yeah, same. I didn't hear about it until recently, but I think it's so cool.
It's super cool. We love to see it. Speaking about some other WNBA news, because obviously there's these expansion teams, super exciting, but it is an exciting time for the league as a whole because it's free agency. We love free agency for any league, but WNBA is super exciting. Ty, do you have a contract signing that you have in mind that you want to talk about?
I do, and I love free agency. Okay, I
eat it up.
Oh, I love it. You can ask anybody, that's all I do, all day, every day is free agency. So the player that I want to talk about today is Jewell Loyd. Okay, she came from Seattle. All right, he was involved in a blockbuster trade, okay, with the Sparks, the Storm, and the Aces.
Which we'll get to later. We'll get to more
about
that later.
Hey, I'm saving, I'm reserving, okay. However, she was traded to the Aces. Vegas gives her a one-year Supermax deal, which is only worth $250,000, which is kind of a crime. That's a Supermax. But she's now tied for the second highest paid player in the league with Arike Ogunbowale, right? She finished last year as the 6th highest scorer in the WNBA, 19.7 points per game through 37 games, which is kind of crazy considering that she's beating out Caitlin Clark, right?
That's crazy.
Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, but now you do. Okay, she completes a new big three in Vegas, okay, with Asia Wilson and Jackie Young, with the three of them combining for an average of 62.4 points per game. I told y'all a year ago, I said, look, when you watch the NBA, I already know LeBron's going for 30 points a game, 40 points a game. I'm coming out here because I want to see Jackie Young drop 40 on a Wednesday, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm here because I want to see something crazy happen, okay?
I remember this conversation.
Yeah. And so, to sum everything up, this is a team that's still in their championship window, right?
Absolutely.
They failed to three-peat last year. They won 2 in a row the year before that and the year before that. But Lloyd's probably the best get they could have got, okay? And it's hard to imagine that they don't stay up near the top or at it.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a dynamic player like that and then not kind of activating that talent, because they have a talented team already, like we've talked about. So I'm really interested to see how she's going to fit their puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's a great
You're the
analogy.
missing piece.
The missing piece.
Complete the puzzle.
That's so romantic.
That's so girly. It's so girly for Women's History Month. But to kind of summarize that trade up, I'm talking about Kelsey Plum, who signed a contract with the Los Angeles Sparks. So kind of just to wrap up this trade, it was a 3-team trade, like Ty said. Plum was sent to the Sparks. Jewel Lloyd, who Ty talked about, went to the Aces from Seattle. And then the Sparks 2025 number 2 overall pick went to the Storm. So a big blockbuster trade, as we talked about. But Kelsey Plum is someone that I really want to talk about because that's a name that you definitely know in the WNBA, to the likes of Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson. It's just a name that sticks out. For lack of time, I'm just going to give a little bit about what her contract extension was. She signed a 1-year contract where she'll make $202,000 guaranteed and then an average annual salary of $202,000. She is expected, however, to be a free agent back in 2026. So I'm going to say she's a little bit of a rental for this season just to see how she fits. Who knows what's going to happen next. She has gone overseas to play. She also, there's been talks about her playing in Unrivaled, which is the new women's college team. So not college team, I'm talking about nighttime, and I'm talking about our next segment, which we'll get to soon, but Women's Basketball League. So I'm super excited to see what Kelsey Plum does with LA. I'm excited to see what she does in the next season. So she's a great player. I want to see what she does with this new team.
Yes,
but
that's so exciting.
I'd love to keep talking about this. Obviously, my mind's on college because we're going to talk about that next, so stay tuned to talk some college softball.
Hello. So I guess the crew's getting ready for the next segment on one of our amazing shows. I'm Nick Cohen, host of Season 20 of Hitting the Field, and let me tell you about those amazing shows. On behalf of HTF, we hope you're enjoying today's content, but I'm here to tell you about everything else we offer here at the network. Mondays at 4, HTF Bets goes live for Season 10 with 3 gamblers that, although it may not always seem like it, are here to help us all earn a little bit of extra money while we watch sports. Diego Ortiz, Tyler Brownrigg, and Andrew Gregg's ball knowledge and fun personalities make this show a fan favorite. On Tuesdays, you all loved it, so we brought it back for Season 2. It's Girls Got Game, hosted by Frankie Noble, a show blending women in sports, the biggest sports news stories, and creative segments that make for a fun and engaging show. Next is everyone's favorite sports podcast, The Combine, hosted by who other than Ty Patton, an easygoing, conversational, and technical podcast dropping Wednesdays, also on Spotify at The Combine. Then tune in Thursdays at noon for the network's main show, Season 20 of Hitting the Field, hosted by me. Here, we'll cover any sport, any topic, any story, no matter how obscure. We love some football, basketball, hockey, F1. We also cover baseball, soccer, and we even have to show the UFC love sometimes. Penultimately, TGIF, because Friday is nighttime, hosted by Kathleen Moore and Matthew Bracker. Season 8 of Nighttime is where you'll turn to for all things March Madness, UCF sports, and other collegiate events. We're ending with something brand new. HTFN has never had 6 shows running at once. Also filmed in our new podcast studio is HTFC, hosted by Edgar Rodriguez and Patrick De Leon. Football, or soccer in America, is the most popular sport in the world. Across multiple leagues and cups, soccer is a year-round sport, and HTFC is your news source to stay updated. Also on Spotify, by the way, at HTFC. Outside of our 6-show roster, be sure to tune in to our other content, such as the Studio Days vlog, run by our vlog squad of Brianna St. Jean, Michaela Croker, Ashley Rowe, and Ben Huber. Make sure to follow us on our social medias like Instagram, Facebook, and X to stay updated on all HTFN news. Remember to subscribe right here on YouTube, leave a like and comment. And with that, I think we're ready for your next segment. I'm Nick Cohen. Thank you for your continued support, and back to your regularly scheduled program.
And we're back. Obviously, I was very excited to talk about this. We're talking some college softball for the first time ever on Girls Got Game, but it's not the first time ever on Hitting the Field Network, because we have nighttime host Matthew Bracker and college softball fanatic Augie Aronson here. How are you guys doing?
Doing so good. I love softball. I love anything with a bat. I'm a fan.
No, I mean, me too. There's just something about hitting a round ball with a square bat. I don't know.
There we go.
Those diamond sports. They're
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to draw out a diamond, but I'm sure our viewers know what that was.
Diamond.
All right,
Let's get into it. So, what kind of sparked this whole segment idea was that the Lady Vols, so Tennessee, their pitcher, Caitlin Pickens, delivered the fastest pitch in college softball history, which is amazing. It's kind of amazing that it's a modern record, which I love. But she delivered a 78.2 mile per hour pitch in the 6th inning, which is super fast.
Absolute rocket fuel. Oh my God.
It's insane.
That's a car going on the highway. That's a car on the
faster.
That's faster.
That's like
That's a car trying to get away from like a
high-speed chase,
That's
it's
like
kind
a
of
plane getting ready to take off. Like it's just starting to warm up.
It's pretty unbelievable. You can see it here. The pitch, you don't even see it. Like it moves so fast.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think any of us can throw a ball that fast.
My favorite part is how the batter just did not know what to do and just accepted their fate.
Yeah,
There's
because
nothing
it
you
was
can
called
do
a.
with that. There's
It was
nothing you can do with
obviously
that pitch.
called a strike right at the knees. It was a beautiful pitch. Like obviously it was fast, but it was also
Yeah.
just a very nice pitch to watch.
Very nice.
It's surprising that she threw it for a strike, because like I don't know how much you know about MLB. Like when Aroldis Chapman threw his fastest pitch, it almost took Andrew McCutcheon's head off, I think.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's really surprising and really speaks to her talent that she threw it for a
The
strike.
control to not only throw it that fast, but
Yeah.
in the zone is remarkable.
It's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, it was just 78, but what we have to realize is, compared to baseball, you're further away from the mound in baseball.
Yes.
Softball's way, because the field dimensions are different.
You're 46 feet, but by the time the pitcher strides out, you're more like 40 feet.
I thought
so
it
you
was-
got no
yeah.
time. You got no time to even
It's a
think
baseball
about
equivalent of like a 105.
it. I thought it was like 110.
Oh, it could
thought.
be.
I think it was higher than
genuinely
that.
could be. Yeah.
It was
I
in the
would say
110
it's higher.
somewhere.
All the power to her then.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an incredible athlete to watch, and it's just been the year for college softball.
Really
like
has.
not even in any kind of way. Like I feel like I've seen so much about college softball online lately, especially because we go to UCF and we've had a pretty exciting
season so far,
softball
yeah.
season
Softball
so
school.
far.
The softball
Yeah.
team's done pretty well so far this year.
And I mean, we've all kind of chosen moments that have stood out to us so far in this college softball season. And since we're talking about UCF, Augie, do you want to just start us off?
Yeah, so I chose to actually highlight our women's softball team and their big win against the number 3 ranked Florida Gators last Wednesday. Look, Isabella Vega, she was dominant on the mound.
Awesome.
7 shutout innings against the number 3 team in the country. First inning, after a base hit to right field. Next batter, Aubrey Evans, 2-run jacked to left center field. Later in the game, Izzy Martez, same thing, a 2-run homer. The Knights hit 2 2-run homers to take a 4-0 win. And look, I think the game was sold out too.
It was.
Number 3 team in the country. There was a lot of people there.
The Plex has been like
It's been rocking.
jam-packed
Yeah.
The
lately.
Plex
amazing.
has been rocking. But
Because
yeah,
there's been, for UCF softball, win over win over win over ranked teams. Like
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, even like
Missouri.
our
like opening
season
weekend.
opener was against Georgia, who was ranked, I believe, number 2 at the time. And they didn't even look weak. Like, obviously, they lost the game
Right.
because it's a season opener to
No,
Georgia.
yeah.
But at no point did they look like they were faltering and that they were just giving up.
Most of these wins losses, when we have these losses, have been against like these like powerhouse schools.
Yeah.
So it's a really good foundation to start and like continue to grow with. And some of these players are just absolutely unreal. Felton and Matt, just it's been a great season.
It's been a great season, and when you talk about Florida, obviously we're kind of even with Florida now. We gave up a game and we've won a game, but I think the win dominates the loss so much because it was at the home plex, and it was an incredible victory.
Right.
It was an incredible game, like you
Yeah,
said.
you're not really going to go beat the number 3 team in the country on the road. That's just
No,
not. That's
it's not
not something
gonna
going to happen. But you got to defend home territory, and they did that.
That's what they did.
They did it very
Big
well. Speaking of defending home territory and a ranked win,
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about my pick because I chose Idaho State softball. I know we're all really big fans of Idaho State, right?
Go
I'll die for
Bengals.
Idaho State. I'll die for Idaho
Go
State.
Bengals.
Yeah.
When I was kind of researching what to talk about with college softball, this really stood out to me because the Idaho
There you go.
Not Iowa, Idaho State Bengals earned their first top 15 victory over number 13 Texas Tech at the time. They won the game 3-2 with a walk-off home run by Gracie Smith, a senior. It was an incredible play to watch. It was super exciting. Their sophomore pitcher, Lizzie Tomasini, pitched a complete game, allowing only 2 runs. So when you have this program that's not really anywhere near Texas Tech and you can see them secure this win, it's just so feel good. Kind of like UCF. Yes, UCF has been ranked this season. I think we've gotten up to 21. But you see Idaho State, like we just said, that's not a team you're really focusing on. So when you see them,
the March Madness miracle we were waiting for in basketball that we never
Didn't
got.
happen.
We got it in women's softball, so
There
we
you
got
go.
it somewhere or the other.
so we'll take it. It was a super fun game
Yeah.
to watch. Highlights are super fun. And you just love to see like a team come together. And like they were so excited. And that just means the world to me. And it's a Big 12 team that lost, so we love that at
Gotta
UCF.
love that. Yeah, for
Shout
sure.
out to Idaho State softball for taking down an opponent of ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I
Appreciate
love
you.
college sports. It's because you know you can see that like these small teams come from nothing and just like with the upsets. I feel like it's more common in college sports than it is in the pros.
Oh,
I would
absolutely.
agree 100%. And it's much more feel good because like these players have nothing to lose,
Right.
really. Like what, you're gonna lose your NIL? Like but you're competing for like these playoffs kind of, but it's nowhere near the majors. So
Yeah.
so you're just competing to compete and you only have 4 years, 5 years if you're a grad student, whatever. So seeing like Idaho State win this game and knowing that these like girls are gonna go and like talk about it for the rest of their life. Yeah, we beat number
absolutely.
13 Texas Tech, walk off. Like it's incredible. It's just
Yeah.
so feel good.
Yeah, you're not exactly going to make the tournament for
Maybe
college
not.
softball, but that's something
knows?
you're going to tell your kids.
Yeah,
They're going
for
to tell their
sure.
kids 20
For
years from
sure.
now and tell their grandkids, like, oh, I was part of the team that took down one of the best teams in the country. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Super exciting. Another feel-good story. Matthew, do you want to
Yeah.
tell us about your pick?
So, like you, I picked a smaller school, and this story didn't really get a lot of coverage. From Belmont, Maya Johnson, she starts games. She also comes in from the bullpen. She pitched a perfect game, which is so rare. Softball, baseball, anything. One of the few to do it this season. In this game, she striked out 13 and retired 21 batters. No walks,
gosh.
just showed
No errors?
No errors, just showed perfect control of the plate. And it's just amazing. And she's been one of the best pitchers in college this season. She's leading in strikeouts. She's leading in shutouts. Maya Johnson really is this, dominant pitcher. And it's really sad because when I was trying to look up highlights, couldn't find anything. And it's
Similar to Idaho State.
it's sad when these small schools, there just needs to be more coverage.
There does, and for a sport like softball, like it's not going to get the same coverage as baseball or men's basketball. There's no March Madness tournament for softball.
It'd be
Like,
cool.
Well, they kind of do.
well,
It's
the
just
World
weird.
Series, but it's
Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
had the whole regionals and super regionals. It's just way more spread out.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's just like I would love to see coverage like this for a smaller sport.
I agree.
Once they get closer, it's like to the super regionals, they really cover it for softball. Because I used to sit there and watch them with my mom all the time. But yeah, it's not as covered as like March Madness. So it needs more production.
Yeah. It's super exciting to watch. I'd love to continue to talk about this. Surprisingly, very fun to talk about college softball. Don't go anywhere, though, because I'm equally as excited for our next segment.
You never got me anything for my birthday.
I don't even know what that is. I thought birthdays were every 100 years like the Kids' Choice Awards.
What?
Ah, finally, he's here, man. Ah, he's always late.
Who?
Marcus?
You good?
I'd give them one of these, and one of these.
Behind every on-screen moment is a whole team of engineers and technologists.
And you can be a part of such a team through SMPTE at UCF. You'll join a team of students just like you who are ready to innovate the future of TV and film.
With SMPTE at UCF, you'll be able to connect with local industry pros, learn about new technology in the industry, as well as get backstage experience that really matters. Join SMPTE for a backstage pass to all of this.
We meet every last Monday of the month for our general body meetings. There, we discuss how new technology is being used to create new media, and we get to highlight local professionals and their specialties.
On top of that, we have some site visits planned, so tune into our social media to be notified of when those will happen.
So if you're ready to pull back the curtain and find out what really happens behind the scenes, join Simpty at UCF.
We're back, and I'm very excited for this. We have some homeless teams in the MLB, and I'm not going to say anything else. Matthew, why don't you just take it away?
The Tampa Bay Rays are an absolute joke, and it's so disgusting to see. Now, obviously, we all know, or maybe we don't, who knows, the Tropicana Field, which
Beautiful park.
Yeah. Listen, I like the Trop. I know Augie has his thoughts. I like it because it's in the middle of summer. You're in like 68-degree weather. It's very nice. It isn't appealing to look at, but Hurricane Milton didn't think so either because it completely destroyed the stadium.
Okay,
so
real quick though, for me, it's not that the Trop is ugly. For me, it's just the rings in
Yeah.
fair territory that you can hit the rings with a fly ball. That's the only thing that gets me about the Trop.
No,
You can also park there for IndyCar races.
Cool. Anyways, the Trop. So the Rays before this had a a deal with St. Pete to build a new $1.3 billion stadium. That was mean. I'm sorry. That was really mean. Anyways, and this deal was in place, and people have been excited because the Trop isn't really that great to look at. However, they realized that repairing the Trop would be less money than building a new stadium. So, our owner, Stu, good old Stu, just canceled. Just out of nowhere dropped out. And a lot of people are not happy about this because the Rays, Stu's a cheap ass, okay?
Oh.
He doesn't spend money on this team. Our payroll is year after year towards the bottom of the league, and it's really embarrassing. Free agency?
Poverty team.
What's a free agency? Exactly.
Poverty team.
But it's Stu doesn't spend money because year after year, the Rays develop these prospects and players.
Especially pitchers.
Yes, the Rays are a pitching force. It's crazy. So we put our team in a new ballpark, George Steinbrenner Field. Now, my thing with that...
New?
Well, okay, not new. It's an 11,000-seat stadium, but it is the minor league affiliate of the Yankees. The Yankees, listen, I love Edgar Rodriguez like a brother, but 1% of me will always hate him for being a Yankees fan. All right, rivalries are what makes it beautiful. You're negotiating with the Yankees? And then they put up a sign outside the stadium that says, "Thank you, Yankees, thank you." That's like me paying $15 million to my landlord and saying, "Thank you, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir." It's ridiculous. A single A stadium. It's not even like the A's with a triple A field.
Before the A's, do you think we might see the Orlando Rays?
So that is the thing, is Stu has been talking about relocating because he doesn't want to sell. People have been reaching out like, hey, maybe we'll buy it. The MLB commissioner wants Stu to sell. He goes, no, I don't want to. Now they're pressuring him to sell. They don't want to. Opening day, they filled out this stadium in Tampa because that's where the Rays should be, is in Tampa.
It's also probably easier to get to the stadium.
In Tampa or St. Pete?
Huh?
Tampa or St. Pete?
Tampa.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably easier to get to the stadium.
It's so difficult to get to Trop. Everyone was chanting sell the team. It's just we're in a nightmare right now.
Okay, but I don't. The reason why they probably decided to fix the Trop is because literally all you have to do is go to Walmart, or not Walmart, probably Walmart too. Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, buy all the 20-foot tarps that they have and just string them across the top. That's all you gotta do to fix the Trop.
I understand.
So it's pretty cheap.
But why did we drop out of the new stadium deal? There was no reason to do that. There was no reason. It's because he.
Do you think?
It's because they couldn't figure out a financing plan, so it would have been more money out of his pocket.
Okay, but do you think you didn't sign free agency for any free agents because he maybe budgeted that $15 million out of the free agency budget?
Yes, that's exactly it. If he can cut corners anywhere, then he's going to do it because he's a cheap.
And speaking about cutting corners,
here we go.
The Oakland Athletics are sharing a stadium with their AAA affiliate in Sacramento. So you can't even call them the Oakland A's anymore.
They're just the A's.
They just go by the A's.
Yeah.
What are we doing sharing a stadium with the AAA?
That's what I'm saying.
Now, granted, your AAA team might get more viewers. But what are we doing? First of all, as somebody who has landscaping experience and worked, it is a groundskeeping nightmare. They're playing multiple games in one day.
Yeah.
I think you need to go there and work on their landscaping.
They're going to need everybody they can get. If you've mowed the grass before, go to Sacramento because they're going to need you to fix it. Okay? Because they're playing like 2 games a day.
2 games a day?
They're like the
AAA team.
They're
alternating.
Yeah, they're alternating.
They're sharing.
There's
so
like
what's
10
your
games
solution?
There's like 10. There is no solution. The solution is to go back to the Coliseum. But Oakland
is the
Oakland's not going to have him back.
No.
Oakland is not. And
the Coliseum's done.
No,
there
the Coliseum's
is no Coliseum.
over.
So where are you going to put them?
Well, they're waiting for the stadium in Vegas to be built,
They're
which
moving
is
to
why
Las
it makes
Vegas.
no sense to me The MLB,
At least they have a stadium plan.
Yes. Obviously, the Trop is a different story because it was an act of God. It was an act of nature.
Yes.
How do you not have a plan for 3 years of stadiums for a team? Now, granted, nobody cares about the Oakland Athletics. Nobody.
We do.
But still.
I care about Lawrence Butler. He's pretty good.
And Brent Rooker. Shout out to and Severino. You threw really well against the Mariners. Now, granted, it was the Mariners lineup.
You care.
I think, and
I care about
like
Luis
all
Severino.
baseball fans care about the A's because it's just so sad to see.
It was
what
really
happens.
upsetting.
MLB owners just do this.
They did do a very nice Ricky Henderson tribute, though.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Mariners
That is
too,
awesome.
even though because Ricky played for the Mariners for 1 year, but they did, and he played 14 for Oakland. But they did do a nice Ricky Henderson tribute as he just recently passed
It's
away.
because
So
the
shout out to
baseball
Mariners and
community
Oakland.
is very nice and understanding and kind. It's
Yes.
these owners that are tainting the game. I mean,
Yes.
if you have money, your team does better. But then if you have a stingy owner or a cheap ass, then they aren't going to spend money on payroll.
Well, that's where the minor league prospects come in, and honestly, that's where the Rays have been good lately.
Yes.
Is because they are just a factory of pitching.
Taj Bradley.
Yes,
and,
they
and
just
yes.
get these. I don't know where they get it from or who their minor league or the farm system development guy is, but that guy needs a raise. That guy has been doing an incredible job with their pitching staff.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is Rays A's World Series,
Yes.
right?
2055.
Yeah. I mean, long after I'm gone.
Record predictions?
Well, so the Rays actually have started the season pretty strong. I think they're
You played
2-1.
the Rockies. Relax.
Okay, sure.
You played Colorado.
But the Rays always find a way to win, and that's why
No,
students
they do. They do.
They don't want to do anything. Is because they always find a way to muster up a win. But we traded away our whole team last season, and so I don't. I'm saying our window is closed.
Who was your big free agent signing?
Dude, I don't even remember actually.
Ha-Seong Kim.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, wait, he was
No,
solid
he's actually
on
pretty
the
solid.
Padres.
He's actually
He was
pretty solid. He's a
okay.
nice.
I know.
Nice
I'm
outfielder.
a really
right
big
now.
baseball fan.
There's a
Ha-Seong
process.
Kim, if you saw this, I actually love you, so it's all right.
I'm sure he's gonna watch this.
Exactly. Oh man, it's hard because I go to the Trop. I buy my dad a ticket every summer, and I go to the Trop. And we go get a every single game we went to, they've won. So I think they need to give me a season
So you
pass.
guys just have to go. To
Yes, every
game.
single game.
I've
forever,
never been
yes.
to the Trop. I almost want to go to the Trop now.
Next season.
I parked
I will
there
go
for
to
an
the Trop
IndyCar
with you.
race.
All right, right here.
Now I don't know how
There
we're
we
gonna get there because parking's obviously gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
Unless you're going to an IndyCar race.
Awesome.
Because then you could park there for an IndyCar race. And
you're the only,
that's
that's
what Trop-
the only
that's
sport
what
though that
Trop's
you can
known
park there
for.
for. You can't even park there for baseball. It sounds like.
It's true.
Yeah. Frankie, you want to come to a Trop game with us?
Yep.
All right.
Girls
cool.
Got Game
All right.
takes over the Trop.
Girls Got
Yo,
Game takes over
low-key,
the Trop.
That'd be fun.
We're gonna plan this.
Maybe let's throw out the first pitch.
Can I just say one more thing
Closing
before
statement.
we end? Camera 3, get on. Stu, listen to me.
This guy's calling a shot like he's Stephen A. Smith.
Stu, listen. I spend money on 2 tickets every summer for us to go to the Trop and watch a game. I'm tired of putting money in your pocket. Stu, go yourself. Sell the team.
That is all the time we have for Girls Got Game this week. We will see you next week for a brand new episode where someone may or may not use their word of the year. Have a-